I love when Chris comes on. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Hey, Brother Bobby, how are you?
I am good. I was listening to Starting Over as I was driving into work this morning, and I always love to talk to the songwriter, and that is you. You wrote this with Mike Henderson.
That's true.
In the process of this record, what point did Starting Over get written? When you're putting songs, and then what was and you're in the room thinking about concepts like how did Starting Over? How did that come about?
Well, I mean, starting over as a where it was written in the course of the record. We took about 2 years doing this record, so I'm trying to think. I don't think that we had this when we started the record. So we started the record in 2018. So um, I think this song came in the middle of us kind of shutting down and touring for a year, and then we, go on to the room part of it. When we got in the room, in my process with Mike is I show up about 8 o'clock in the evening at his house. We have a few cocktails and talk about life. And this particular evening, we were talking about times in life when you have to kind of start over, either by choice or kind of life kind of presents that to you. And but also the fact that there's hope in that. There's a hope in a new beginning and a hope in and getting to travel down the road. Um, hopefully to something better, even if you don't know what that is. And so the song kind of was born from there and kind of started from line one and went to the end.
When you have a song with a concept, do you write the hook, like the chorus first? Do sometimes you start with you're like, this is the first line of the song and you work from there? What's the writing process like for you?
It just depends. It can be any different way, like, yeah, sometimes I do have a title and you write from a concept that way. But I think we were just kind of thinking about starting over as a general concept, maybe not as a title when this particular song was getting written. But sometimes you start, like I said, I'm a strum and hum kind of guy, most of the time. And then you hum a melody and what's that feel like? And it gives you, kind of directs you, find some words and some mumbling, and those words lead to other words. And before you know it, you have a song. And that's generally the way that works for me. But I've done it many different ways. I've written entire songs over top of lyrics that were already there. I've written, songs from, I dreamed a chorus and, walked into a writing room with a chorus, so those kind of things, you just kind of have to walk through the doors.
You dreamed a chorus. What
That's
song
it.
was that? And do they think you're nutty when you walk in and go, guys, you're not going to believe this. In my
A
dream,
parachute,
yeah.
parachute was actually a chorus that I dreamed. I woke up from a dream and had dreamed the entire chorus to Parachute. And I walked into a writing appointment with Jim Beavers and said, "You gonna think I'm crazy, but I dreamed this chorus last night. We should write this song." And that's what that song is.
Do you wake up after you dream it and in the middle of the night kind of jot down, or can you just hold on to it? Because half my dreams, I don't even remember when I wake up.
I have very few dreams. I can count them on one hand that I remember, and that's one of them. So I don't remember dreams hardly ever.
So do you
And
think
so
yeah, do you think it's like God reaching out while you're sleeping and going, hey, I know you don't dream much, but let me give you the gift of this song?
well, maybe I read an article that says you don't sleep very good if you don't remember your dreams. So I think it's probably some kind of a sleep deprivation that prevents me from from remembering dreams.
Chris Stapleton is on with us right now. I just around town, I'd see you come to events, and you drove this old truck, and you'd park it outside the venue at the Ryman once you came in. I was very lucky to have you come play a show with us, and you drove your old truck and you parked it there. Do you still drive that old truck?
Well, I don't know what I was driving at the time. I do have an old Jeep that I drive around sometimes. It just got back from getting restored, so yeah, I drive it around whenever I can. It's one of my favorite things to drive.
Are you like an old school guy where you like to drive the old truck because of what it means to you, and or are you a guy? Do you have like a big jacked up F-150 with all the bells and whistles too?
No, I don't have anything like that. I like cars though. I like all kinds of cars and trucks and things like that. So, but we have farm trucks at the farm and things that do work. But um, no, I don't have like a super fancy truck necessarily.
What happens at the Stapleton farm?
What happens at the Stapleton farm?
Yeah.
We we take care of babies. It's a baby farm.
Is Morgan there with you?
She's right here. Yeah.
Morgan, can you hear me?
She can't hear you.
Oh, tell her I said hello and I love her. I always want to acknowledge when she's with you because she is so good.
Okay. Yeah, she's right here. He says you're so good,
Bobby. Oh,
and he wants to acknowledge that you're with me.
Bobby.
I feel like people miss out sometimes when we're talking to Chris because Morgan's right there. And I love Chris, but I love Morgan. Like, equally her own powerhouse of an artist and singer. And they'll sit there and people will, it's like they'll look at Morgan, but it's like, guys, you're missing out on the whole package here. They're both right here in front of you. They're both amazing. So I want to acknowledge her being there with you, of course. Chris Stapleton on with us. I know you have your guitar with you. Before we talk, before we talk a little bit more, would you mind playing "Starting Over" for us? That is up for Song of the Year. "Starting Over" is both artist and songwriter, and if this song does not hit number one, I quit my show. You've heard me say it now.
Whoa,
that's right.
Easy now.
No, I'm
easy
saying
now.
People,
now listen, Bobby.
People will stop playing it just to get me to quit. Okay,
Yeah,
I take that back, Chris.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. I was just going to say I think it's pretty tight. So I mean, you don't want to make a promise you can't keep there.
Yeah,
and if I were you, I'd hang on to that.
Yeah, I rescind that. I take that back. I take that comment back. But listen, we got to make this song number one. It's the greatest song. It's the greatest album. I love it so much. Chris Stapleton's on with us. A couple more questions for you, Chris, while you're here. You know,
man.
I watch your career, and I look at the lyrics of your songs, and I don't do that with many people. I have trouble remembering things. When you write songs, have you ever written a line in a song and you go back and you go, wait, I already wrote that line in a different song? Has that ever happened to you where you double up at all?
Well, sure. There's only so many words in the English language, and just like there are only so many notes on a guitar, you probably borrow from yourself more than you try not to. You try not to recycle too much, but you can, if you want to. There's some good things there's good images that are worth using over and over. That's the reason there's so many songs with angels in them. It's not something to necessarily shy away from, borrowing from yourself. Although I think, one time John Fogerty got sued by his own song one time. So you got to watch that kind of stuff. But it's kind of weird to think about. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've definitely probably borrowed from myself, both intentionally and unintentionally.
It's just trying to find different ways to say similar things or express similar feelings. Am I right about that?
Sure. Or you're looking for, maybe a common feeling that you haven't heard a lot about. That's the other quest, is to, put the human condition into a song that we all have these shared experiences, and love and heartbreak are the common ones, but there's many other ones, small ones that are worth examining, and certainly worth connecting with people over.
Now the final three questions for Chris Stapleton. I'm making this a whole thing here. Question number one: you were valedictorian of your high school class. When you were graduating high school, what was the goal as valedictorian, as the smart guy? What did you want to go do?
I went to school briefly to be a biomedical engineer.
Why is she laughing, Chris?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know why she's laughing.
Yeah.
But that's what I did briefly.
I like that. I don't know why she's laughing either.
I went to business school for a minute. Clearly, neither one of those things took, but
yeah, I like it. Okay. Number two, all these Grammys you have, do you put them on display in your house, or are they somewhere in like a storage unit?
I haven't seen some of them. I put them. We take them on when we're touring. We put them on the road, and there's a ticket you can buy that has like a walkthrough kind of VIP thing that is for the people. Those belong to the people, to me. So I haven't seen them directly myself, but all those awards I think belong to the fans, and I want them to see them. I don't make a trophy room to myself at my house or anything.
So is it weird that I have a shrine to you at my house? No,
not at all. See, you're allowed to do that. That's totally cool. And I have a shrine to you at mine. So it's that's okay.
Good. One final thing, Chris, before we talk about a song, but this is it from me. Live music. What's happening with you? Anything where you're like, all right, we're getting close. What's going on?
Oh, well, we're all hopeful. that's what's going on. The closer we can get, to everybody, getting these coronavirus things knocked out, vaccines and whatnot. We can make public gatherings okay. That's all. We're hopeful for the fall. We're hopeful, but fingers crossed. We'll see what's going on. And a lot of it depends on all of us out in the world, and so there's a lot of mutual trust in the world that has to happen in order for everybody to get back to some kind of normal and get some shots and some arms.
I got I got both my shots, and I'm feeling good about it. And
yeah, I got my second one yesterday.
Yeah, how you feeling? Are you good?
I was a little slow last night, but this morning I feel, it's just normal old man feeling bad, not any kind of reaction to anything. So,
well, I got my second one. I yelled at Chris Stapleton because that's why I want to go see Chris play live again. I dedicated it to you right when they chatted me.
You dedicated it to me.
It.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
There he is, my friend and yours, our musical hero, Chris Stapleton. Chris, thank you so much for the time. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Let's get that number one song.
Thank you, brother.
All right, see you later, Chris. Bye-bye.
It's a Bobby Bones Show.